Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to create a simple, quick look for you today that you can utilize for any daytime activity you have going on this summer. For me, I have a baseball game today with my family, and I wanted to create something that would be on point for the environment that I'm going to be in, but also still have me feeling my best. So continue watching. Subscribe to my channel, leave any comments below on any tips or tricks you would love to know more about, or any tips or tricks you have for me. Follow me on Instagram for any more product and beauty inspiration. So for the first step, we're going to moisturize our face. I'm going to be using the GLAMGLOW Glow Starter Mega Illuminating Moisturizer. It comes in 3 different shades per your skin tone. I'm using the shade Sun Glow. I think essentially I would be the lighter shade, but because I have mentioned in previous videos that I tend to fake my tan, this feels like just the right amount of color without going overboard and letting everyone know on my little secret. This is also a great product to use even if you don't plan on wearing makeup that day. It gives your skin just a subtle tint and a little bit of that illuminating glow that it promises. So I'm not going to bother much with any primer today. The look that I'm going for today is pretty laid back, pretty easygoing. It's not something that I am too concerned with through carrying me throughout the night. So after we've applied our GLAMGLOW moisturizer, I'm going to move on to the NARS Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer. It has SPF 30 sunscreen in it, and I am using the color Light 3. For a tinted moisturizer, it does give pretty fair coverage. It's something that I use for a day date or even a night out, but something more casual, such as wine night or a bonfire. It's just enough coverage to smooth out my skin tone and my pores. So after applying our NARS Tinted Moisturizer, I'm going to go over with my Cover FX Pressed Foundation. I use the color G40. It's the perfect match to not only my NARS Tinted Moisturizer, but my Yves Saint Laurent Full Coverage Foundation. So I'm going to go through with my IT Cosmetics brush in number 114. And swirl that through and just do a quick swipe throughout my entire face. So next up, I do want to move on to my blush. I'm using something that I've had for a couple of years now, but it's a color that has been a go-to for me, especially when I'm in a pinch and need something that I know will immediately complement my skin tone and give me that lit from within glow. It's the BECCA Mineral Blush in Flower Child. So I'm going to go through with my true and trusty IT Cosmetics blush brush and again just swipe through it. Because I do tend to apply my blush a little bit heavier the first go around, I am going to go through with my number 114 brush by IT Cosmetics and just buff some of that blush out to create a more natural finish. So next up, I'm going to do a little bit of bronzing to my skin tone. I'm going to use the MILANI Baked Bronzer in Soleil. I absolutely adore this bronzer for a number of reasons. One being the price point. It's drugstore price pointed. I can't tell you for certain the exact amount, but it's certainly under $10 and well worth your money. And not only that, but it has these beautiful gold flecks throughout the bronzer, and it applies very lightweight, so I feel like I never have to be too worried about going overboard with it, which is something that I'm constantly thinking about when applying any type of powder to my face. I love the color and the depth of it, and I get excited when I see that come to life. So I'm going to swirl my MAC 100 brush through my bronzer and then just apply it underneath my cheekbones, the side of my nose, a little bit underneath my jawline, and then a little bit into my forehead to just get a quick, simple, full bronzed effect. Okay, and that feels like just the right amount for our bronzer. I do want to go through with the MARC Jacobs Dewdrops. It's such a beautiful product if it's something you don't already own. It has the most beautiful iridescent gold finish to it. So I go through and apply just the tiniest amount to my hand. And then I'm going to take my blender and use the flat side and then go through and just kind of engulf my flat side within the product like this. And then I'm just going to almost sponge paint my cheekbones and just go along and dab this product for a little bit of lit from within glow. I'll even use the flat side and go through and rub that in. I've heard that it's something you're not essentially supposed to do with the beauty blender, but I don't think there are really any rules. And I'll take just a little bit left over, run it down the bridge of my nose for a little bit of highlight. Next, I'm going to go over that MARC Jacobs Dewdrop with the Fenty Beauty highlighter, her Killawatt foil, and I'm using her new summer set in Mimosa Sunrise and Sangria Sunset. So for the look, I'm going to be using the Mimosa Sunrise. So I'm going to go through with the only highlighting brush I typically like to use. It's her Fenty Shark Bite brush. I'm going to gently dab that into our highlight because it is quite pigmented. And then go through and just run that along what we already have going on. As you can see, the highlight is a bit bronzy. So it's something that you want to use little of and build on per your preference of how much color you want. For me, I don't want anything that is too loud. I want something a bit unique, which is why I chose it in the first place. But I still want to remain within my environment for the day. So I'll even go through, I feel like I got a little bit heavy on this side, and use my IT Cosmetics brush and blend that out a little bit to create a more translucent effect. So for my eyelids, I'm going to do no prepping and no priming, and that's why this look is so easy and perfect for a day out, because I'm going to be using the MAC Let Me Pop Prolongwear Paint Pot. I've talked about this before, using it as a primer in the bisque color, but this time we're going to do this beautiful gold peachy tone, and I'm just going to go through with my ring finger and swirl that into the painterly pot and then dab it along my eyelid. It just gives a very subtle peachy tone to your eyelid. If you do want a little bit more pigment, I would recommend pairing it with the Urban Decay eyeshadow in Free Love is the color. It's one of their single palettes. Again, it's just this very light peachy tone. I think it's actually something I might try for today, even though we're going for a more laid back baseball game friendly look, but I'm going to go through with a fluffy brush so we don't overdo the pigmentation on it. I'm just going to lightly dab my brush and then just go through and simply swipe it over the matte cosmetics we've already applied. Now you can see we just have a very natural peachy finish to our eyelids. Rather than doing that cut up the side that we would typically do for a bolder, dramatic eye, I'm just going to lightly blend this downward so the entire look ends up being cohesive. And that is all we're going to do for our eyelids. I'm not even going to fuss with eyeliner today. It's something that I think is a little bit too heavy for the look I'm trying to achieve. Although I will note for any new viewers that I do wear eyelash extensions. So if you don't, I would certainly recommend applying your favorite go-to mascara and leaving your eye at that. Next up, we're going to go through and just fill in our brows a bit. I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Powder Duo in medium brown. You can see it's been used once or twice, especially the darker brown side. But as of recent, I've been going right down the middle and using the two colors combined. And I also have the brush in number 15 that is typically recommended with this palette. And I'm just going to go through and lightly fill in my brows. And for me, that's all that I'm really trying to achieve. For a little bit of solidification, I'm going to use this BDB, a hint of tint brow gel. It's a little bit tinted, and it's just going to basically keep my brows in place while adding a little bit of depth. So I might go through one more time with our Flower Child blush by BECCA Cosmetics and just gently dab my brush into it and dab it along my cheekbone for a little more color. Okay, so for our face, we are complete. Our face and our eyes, believe it or not, are done. So our last step will be our lips. So I'm going to use something that I have fallen in love with this summer. It's the Yves Saint Laurent that is not labeled in English. Alright, well I can't tell you for sure in the video what the actual product name is. I will link it down below for any of you that are interested in purchasing it. But it is essentially a liquid lipstick. It's a stain with a glossier finish. I'm using number 203, which is a nice peachy tone, which is perfect for the overall finish of today's peachy, juicy look. So I'm going to go through and just get a little bit messy with it. There's no need to be too precise. The color blends extremely well, and just apply it all over my lips. And I think that was the final piece to our puzzle to complete today's juicy, peachy, summertime day look. And it's as easy as that, you guys. It's a quick and simple way to get a glowing, peachy, lit from within look for any daytime activity that you may have going on this summer. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel, leave any comments below, and follow me on Instagram for any more beauty and makeup inspiration.